your job or your daily work, the efforts that you are putting in can bring certain positive outcomes in terms of your gains. It is going to bring in respite for the savings that have been facing a lot of heat. You've not been able to save as much as you would have liked to, and you are going to get that respite over the course of 100 plus days. Yes, the savings were diminished earlier, but you will get a check on those savings and you will be able to add more on top of it with this positive period of Jupiter. Hi guys, welcome back to Dev Astrology. Today we are going to be doing the reading for your sign for the month of January 2025. We have done a detailed reading for all the signs, both moon as well as rising, and you can check out the annual predictions which are already posted a couple of weeks back on my channel video. So without further ado guys, you can get started with the key dates that are going to be coming into picture for the month of January. And you can watch this video both from a rising as well as moon sign perspective. So it gives you confidence to see the video in both perspectives. All right, let me share my screen and showcase what are the key dates that will impact us this month. So guys, as you guys can see on your screen here, first and foremost, Sun is currently placed in the sign of Sagittarius, and it is going to be there till the first half of the month, till Jan 13th. And then it will be going into the sign of Capricorn from Jan 14th onwards. Then you have Mercury, which is again placed in conjunction with Sun in the sign of Sagittarius itself, and it is going to be in this sign from Jan 4th, means it is going to be transiting from the sign of Scorpio for the first 3 days and then moving into the sign of Sagittarius from Jan 4th, and then it will be in Capricorn from Jan 24th onwards. You have Venus, which is currently in Aquarius, and it is going to be there until Jan 26th, and from Jan 27th it will be moving into the sign of Pisces in its sign of exaltation, and we've touched upon this in our annual videos as well, and we are going to be talking about this in depth today. Then you have Mars, which is in Cancer in retrograde movement, and it is there till Jan of 20th, and then it is going to be moving into the sign of Gemini from Jan 21st onwards, where it will continue in its retrograde motion itself. You have Jupiter currently retrograde in the sign of Taurus in Rohini Nakshatra, which is ruled by Moon. So it is continuing in the sign of Taurus itself through the course of this month, with Saturn being in Aquarius in Purv Bhadrapada Nakshatra, which is the lord of Jupiter's sign. So it's going to be in Jupiter's sign now onwards itself in Aquarius. Then you have Rahu, which is in Pisces in Uttara Bhadrapada Nakshatra, which is ruled by Saturn. And then you have Ketu, which is in the sign of Virgo in Uttara Phalguni Nakshatra, which is ruled by Sun. So these are the key dates that are going to be impacting you for the course of this month. Leos, as you guys can see on your screen here, you have Ketu sitting in retrogression in your second house with Rahu bang opposite to it in your 8th house. Now, Ketu has been steadily moving towards your Lagna itself, and Ketu is currently in the nakshatra of Sun, which is your Lagna lord, and hence it becomes very important for you guys to understand that you must check the dignity of Sun in your natal chart as well to figure out how would this transit of Ketu be impacting you, especially when it moves into your Lagna itself. Now, Sun is sitting currently in the sign of Sagittarius in the 5th house, where it will be conjunct with Mercury from Jan of 4th onwards. And this is a good placement because your Lagna lord sitting in the 5th is going to bring in a lot of positivity in your life. There is a definitive chance that you could be bringing in or adding in new relationships into your romantic life perspective. I see good growth for you folks when it comes to your investment strategies. Mercury's presence here being the lord of 11th as well as 2nd house for you and coming into the 5th house is a very good placement. Guys, it's a Dhan Yoga in itself. It's a Raj Yoga. And this can deliver very strong outcomes for you from your investment perspectives. Anything that you do in terms of multiplying your wealth, multiplying your income in itself to the next level is going to be positive. Both of these planets are going to be aspecting your 11th house itself. Now, as we move into the second half of the month, your Lagna Lord will be the first to move into the sixth house. Yes, you can anticipate some sort of trouble when it comes with respect to your health. However, I see you getting more and more engrossed with your daily regimen, more efforts coming in with respect to your workplace. There is a high chance that you could be involved actively into new projects, into new engagements from 14th of January onwards. But later we see that in the last week, the month, Mercury will also be joining in Sun and will be present in your sixth house itself. So definitively you can see that there could be some expenses that could come with respect to your health. Please keep your fitness to the fore. Some sort of downside there is anticipated. However, I do not anticipate too much negative. Why? Because Lord of 11th and 2nd, when they are moving into the 6th house, it gives me a definitive confirmation that your job or your daily work, the efforts that you are putting in, can bring certain positive outcomes in terms of your gains as well. We have to see it from that perspective too, especially if you are in the field of medical profession, or if you are looking forward to get started right after college in some sort of a job. There is a high chance you can get job prospects, new opportunities also come your way. Now, your seventh house currently has Venus. It is sitting in conjunction with Saturn, who's your sixth and seventh lord itself. Some of the aspects of this Saturn haven't been great. It has brought in certain problems when it comes to your married life, when it comes to your relationships, your business partnerships as well. However, presence of Venus is going to solidify some of the things. You are going to see some positive uptick. Again, this Venus is the lord of both your third house and your 10th house coming into your seventh. 10th lord moving 10 places away. Bhavarth Bhavam is coming into play for your Venus as well. And we were just talking about the impact that Mercury and Sun are going to create in your professional life. You are going to see that this Venus is also going to add to that. In fact, people who are running their own businesses, if you are planning to start some side hustle of your own or start a new venture in itself, folks, Leos, if you're watching it from a moon sign or both from rising sign perspective, I will give you confidence here that you see a positive movement on both of those aspects. You have to understand Venus is the lord of third, moving 5 places away into the seventh house. That's another beautiful movement. Your effort will go in the direction of doing something towards your partner, doing something constructive, positive, trying to make them happy. It's a good choice, folks. Put your effort. If you are not married, I'm pretty sure you will be working towards identifying a romantic pursuit as well during this period. Many of you will be taking initiatives to date, go around and establish new relationships in the month of Jan 2025. It seems a positive outlook for you. Especially if you are a working professional who is running their own business, their own enterprise, I see some sort of fame, some sort of success, recognition coming in towards your business. It's a positive sign. Even if that is not the case, and if you are married, you might see some fame or some acclamation or even promotion growth in the life of your life partner itself. So it's a positive period for your spouse too, Leos. You should enjoy that, be happy about it, both rising and moon, and communicate this to your partners and ask them to also see that if that yoga is being formed in the transit for their respective rising and moon sign as well. Now, this Venus will be moving into your 8th house in the last part of the month from 27th of January onwards, where it will get conjunct with Rahu. And this is a little bit of a dicey situation. Dicey, why? Because see, Rahu's presence brings expansion, and 8th house aspects have been very prominent for you for the last 1.5 years, almost 1 year, 3 months now. And Venus, when it comes here into the 8th house, it is going to add fuel to the fire. It can bring in certain new connections, which you might want to be careful about. But at the same time, on a positive side of things, it is going to expand your joint bank balance with your partner. It is going to bring in interest in terms of doing research that could be relevant for your career, for your work, for your profession. So you must think in that direction as well. And last but not the least, you might find some support, especially related to business, from your in-laws as well. So that is another positive sign. Now, this Rahu is giving an aspect to your 12th house, to your 2nd house, and to your 4th house. So I see some expenses will continue to be on a rise here, especially when that conjunction with Venus happens. But it could also incline your interest towards bed pleasures. At the same time, both of these planets will be giving an aspect to your 2nd house. It is going to bring in respite for the savings that have been facing a lot of heat. You've not been able to save as much as you would have liked to. and you are going to get that respite over the course of 100 plus days when this conjunction is in place between the two planets. Now, the Lord of your ninth house as well as your fourth house is sitting in retrogression and debilitation in your 12th house, which is Mars. And it is slowly and steadily going to be moving into your 11th house itself. So, retrogression of this Mars is not bad for you folks as well. I'm pretty confident this is going to bring in opportunities for you with respect to settlement abroad, traveling long distances, even your career, profession, work could have some sort of play in that direction. I wouldn't be surprised if you are finding some support from your bosses and superiors coming in your way, and please comply to the ask that they throw at you, because if you do, you will realize that it will bring in some steady gains as well for you, which is going to be very fruitful. Now, this Mars is also giving an aspect to your third house. It has kept you distantly away from hard work, so to speak. But there is an exalted aspect to your sixth house and an aspect to the seventh as well. You are going to get some relief once this Mars moves into the sign of Gemini, even though if it is in retrogression, because it is going to at least not anymore dampen your prospects related to marriage or within marriage itself. Jupiter, which is sitting in the 10th house, it's a good position for Jupiter to be in, and retrograde Jupiter is very good for you guys, Leos. So please, I cannot emphasize enough for this particular bit that you must leave no stone unturned when it comes to your karma. If you're a student watching this video, do not leave a single opportunity pass by you when it comes to putting in your efforts towards your college applications, getting into new degrees, pursuing new courses and stuff like that. If you're a homemaker, you are going to charm your family with the efforts that you're going to be bringing in. If you're a working professional, if you're running your business, this is the period that you must double down upon, you must capitalize. You are going to get support of your manager superiors as well, especially in the last part of the month. Once Mars is moving into the sign of Gemini, you will find that things will fall much more in place, because you are going to find success, gains, wish fulfillment with the support of your leaders, superiors at workplace. You must be also looking forward to seek advice from your father, from your elders in the family, because their advice will also be very fruitful at this point in time, especially if you're starting a new project. You must be looking forward to take up new projects at work. You must be looking forward to expand a new line of business for your profession. All of that looks very suitable. Jupiter, along with this Venus and Rahu, will be giving an aspect to the second house where Ketu is placed. Yes, the savings were diminished earlier, but you will get a check on those savings and you will be able to add more on top of it with this positive period of Jupiter. I've highlighted this in my Jupiter retrograde video as well, and I want to keep emphasizing that you should not let that possibility slip. There could be some decent amount of support also that might churn up from your family people itself to add to it. Now, Jupiter is also giving an aspect to your fourth house. Any kind of new initiatives when it comes to house projects, new buying of vehicles or assets, I would want you to keep it under check unless and until Mars becomes direct. Under its retrogression, I will not push you forward towards that. But once Mars is direct, especially in the 11th house itself, that is going to be an opportune period. So you have time and you can patiently wait for you to exercise that particular option. Jupiter's aspect, again, though a debilitated one, Mars is giving an exalted aspect, and the presence of Sun and Mercury is going to be there in your sixth house as well. This particular house is going to become hyper active for you. And the remedy would be that please be cautious in terms of at least doing some sort of charitable deeds, some sort of an expenses beforehand, donations of some kind. It is going to be good for you. It is going to save you the trouble of going and visiting hospitals for your own health checkup. Even if that is not the case, any kind of preemptive measures taken by you to take proactive checkup of yourself is going to be much more smart decision than spending on situations when it is least expected and not required. So I think, folks, Leos, it's a mixed transition period for you before the transit of Rahu and Ketu, who are going to come in your 1-7 axis. You still have a window of the next 4 to 5 months where you can capitalize on this period and see that how you can leverage the planetary positions, especially for your health, for your married life, and for your career. I think these are good areas for you to emphasize upon. These 3 to 4 months, especially the month of January 2025, is going to be a period where you can add to your finances as well, grow on that particular aspect, and leave no stone unturned. I hope you guys have enjoyed watching this video. If you have, then please smash on that like button and subscribe to Dev Astrology. Thank you for watching. Om Namah Shivaya.